What's up guys, I have another NES lot to show you, and I swear I didn't mean to do this, but it looks like this lot contains a lot of games that are considered bad. Especially by a certain content creator by the name of the Angry Video Game Nerd. And I love AVGN. I've been watching him for years. I love his stuff. And I really did not mean to do this. It was just a lot of games that I really wanted, and it turns out that most of the games in a lot are games that he's covered and told people not to play because of how bad they are. And a lot of these I haven't played before, or I've played them when I was younger at my friend's house and we tried to beat it, but they were too complicated or whatever, and now I have the chance to try again. It is a 9-game lot that I got for $35. I got some really good deals on this lot. I'll show you all the prices at the end of the video as usual. Like $4, give or take, somewhere around there. So incredibly cheap, definitely under my $10 limit that I try and stick to. 9 games. This is a really good lot too. But you know, everybody has a different opinion on what makes a good game. It is subjective. So I did play through all of these before recording the video to get some gameplay footage to show you guys as I talk about them. But that's, for some of these games, that's the only experience I have with them. So anyway, let's get started. Our first game, Back to the Future. This is one I have never played before, and you know, it's a shooter and it's not a space themed shooter, which was rare for the system. There's very few shooters on the NES that didn't have some kind of space theme. Most of the gameplay is that shooter section, and that's the part where like it doesn't follow the movie whatsoever, except for when you get on a skateboard and you're going through the town. I don't remember bowling balls being thrown at anybody, but you know, there are some scenes from the movie in the game. I didn't think it was that bad. The repeating music definitely got annoying really quick, but I didn't make it too far. I stopped at the second style of level, the one where you're in that cafe throwing mugs, and I remember AVGN saying that part was really tough, and no joke, in this footage you're seeing right here, this is my first attempt at it, and this is how many I got without losing. But I am a retro gamer, I'm used to that type of gameplay, so I think somebody who's not used to that type of game would probably have a lot of difficulty with it. But yeah, Back to the Future, first game in a lot. Next up we have Deadly Towers. Alright, so repeating music. This suffers from the same issue that Castle Quest does, where every time you go to a new screen, the music starts over. That's super annoying. This is not a good game. The gameplay seems very difficult. I couldn't tell where I was walking, if I was going to fall off a side of the castle or a cliff or whatever I was on. The dude in the game does not look like this guy on the cover at all. Not even in like a chibi style. It's like a completely different guy. I wish I was playing at this guy. This dude looks cool. It does have a type of experience system, which I thought was nice, and when you die you do keep your experience, and it seems like you keep the items that you died with, which is good. Means that the game won't be incredibly difficult as long as you continue to play over and over. I think it has a password system. I don't remember because I didn't play a lot of it. I explored the castle, caves, whatever it was for a little bit, and I died a lot. I can definitely see why this is considered a bad game. Game number 3 of the lot, Dick Tracy. All I know about Dick Tracy is from watching the movie when I was a kid, and that's not really a kid's movie. I need to rewatch it actually. There's some scenes in there that kids shouldn't be watching. I do remember it had a very noir look, and I'm not sure if that translated into the game very well. The gameplay was fine. I didn't think the gameplay in this was that bad at all. Even the driving sections didn't seem that difficult to make the turns at the cross sections. There were a couple unfair spots where you really had to try not to get shot in the warehouses, and even worse on the streets when you have the snipers up on the roofs. They will tear into you, and there's really not a lot you can do about it. It's a bit unfair. It could be one of those games where you have to play over and over to memorize all their positions to stop ahead of time, get out of the car, take him out, and then continue on, which can be annoying unless you're really, really into the subject matter. The overall idea of this game, though, is you collect clues, you find the bad guys, and then you pass the stage, and I think you get a password at the end of every stage. So at least it's fair in that aspect where you can continue stage to stage and you don't have limited lives or anything like that, as long as you make it past that stage. I think this one a lot of people are on the fence for. Some people like it, some people don't. I liked the little bit that I played of it, so not unhappy about this. Next up we have Fester's Quest. I have played this once, and it wasn't even on an NES. I played this on one of those like Play Choice 10 types of things in a pizza parlor when I was very young. I thought it was really cool. I really enjoyed the music. I thought the visuals were nice. Playing it again now, I can see how this can be very frustrating when you upgrade your gun and it starts zigzagging and spinning around in loops and you're not hitting anything, or your shots are hitting the wall and you can't do anything about it because, hey, that's an upgrade. And the enemies are constantly respawning. Yes, I get it. Very frustrating. I do like the Addams Family, and you do meet some of the members in the game and they give you hints or upgrades. And like I said, the music is really nice and it seems like it has a lot of different locations. It looks like it has a progression system. So you gain some kind of ability or tool that when you die, you can take a shortcut to continue where you left off. I could be wrong. I didn't play very much of this. It looks like at the very beginning, there's a gap at the top of the screen, and it feels like that's progression. And eventually, maybe you get something where you can jump that gap or crawl over the gap or somehow. That's just what I feel. I haven't played through this game. Let me know in the comments if I am correct. Overall, I didn't feel it was a bad game. The controls are really tight. But yeah, that upgrade weapon system is... Game number 5, Skate or Die. Okay, I don't like this game. Controls feel very loose. I only played a few of the events and I didn't care for them at all. I didn't have a lot of fun with this one, but the theme is really cool. I like that the very first thing you do, you go to a skate shop, which is owned by a retired Marine with a very interesting haircut, and he's very in your face. I probably played this one the least out of the entire lot just because, like I said, I wasn't enjoying myself. I didn't find a lot of it that was appealing to me. Sorry if this is like some of your guys' favorite game, but it just didn't stick with me. I may give it a second chance or give it more time to see what the big deal was about, because if I remember correctly, this was a pretty popular game on the NES and it did get a sequel. So maybe I'll take another look at it, but for now, this one's not really for me. The next game is actually a duplicate that I got in a Retro Game Treasure box. It is a TNC Surf Designs. I already talked about this one in that video. I'll leave a link up here, or maybe up here, probably up here, and in the description if you want to see what I thought about this one. Spoilers, I like this game. The next one is a game I was trying to find for the longest time, and I finally found it at a good deal. Very popular game. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Suck it, Randy. I think I rented this, I don't know, all the time. I also think my friend had this one. This is one that I used to play. I remember playing this directly after playing caveman games with my friend. I don't know why. And we would play it all the time. This is a hard game. You get 4 lives, basically, that is represented by the 4 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And when you lose a turtle, you can't bring them back till like later in the game. And I never made it that far. I only made it to the 3rd stage. And I remember that underwater level with the seaweed was killer. But eventually I got it down, and I think I made it with like 1 turtle left. And then the next stage was pretty cool, but I didn't make it far after that. So this will be a cool one to replay. It's just super hard. This is one that you got to replay over and over to get the level layouts and find out what turtle works best in which situation. But really, really enjoy this game. I know it gets a bad rap for being a bad game, but it's got really good music. It is by Konami, and they are known for having really good music in their games, and they did it again with this one. Very happy I found this one. This is one I'd always trying to get. It was at the top of my list, and I got it super cheap. Really, really happy. We only have 2 more left, so next we have Who Framed Roger Rabbit? This one I do have a lot of memories with. I played this at my friend's house a lot, and since we were dumb kids, I didn't make it far at all. I think I made it to Toontown? Maybe. I don't remember. But I remember liking the movie, which was also not really a kid's movie, even though it had cartoons in it back in the day. But the game doesn't have any of that crap, and it's interesting because a part that the Angry Video Game Nerd mentions in his video was a phone number that you actually have to call to proceed, I guess, which at this point would be down. So I don't even know if you can get past this without using some kind of walkthrough online, which luckily we have nowadays. But what I did play of this wasn't that bad from what I remember. Just a lot of complicated mechanics. The driving didn't seem that bad to me. Charging up the punch is a little cumbersome, but it is fun to charge up the whole thing and then smack Roger around, which I think we all did as a kid once we figured out how to actually do that. But don't punch the people around you, because then they won't help you and call you a big, mean something. This one I can see people being mixed about too. The mechanics are kind of weird. I do like the subject matter though. I thought the movie was really cool and I would like to see this through. I do know the final boss sucks. But there's a password system, even though it is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. But it's there. It at least allows you to continue. And it is somewhat fair, even though it is very tiresome to try and input all those letters to continue. Apparently there's a lot to this game that we don't know about. Down to our last one, and in my opinion, this is a good game, and I don't know a lot of people who consider this a bad game at all. Also, this is not an easy game to find. This was actually the first lot I ever saw with this game in it, and with getting it at only $4 or somewhere around there was a very good deal. Last game of the lot, Yonoid. Rented this all the time as a kid, like all the time. I wanted to beat it so bad. The gameplay in this is actually really tight. I liked it a lot. Also, it's by Capcom, and now this game didn't originally come out as a Yonoid game. It was something else in Japan, like something Ninja Hakamaru or something. I'll put it somewhere here in the video as to what this came from. Just like Mario 2 wasn't Mario 2, this was not Yonoid. Domino's got a hold of it and thought that it would be cool to make a game about pizza. And it is kind of cool. Like I said, the gameplay is really nice. It's tight, good jumping. At the end of each stage, you have to do this mini game where you eat pizzas, and if you eat more than the other player, they lose life or you lose life. It's really hard to explain. You'd have to actually see it to understand what I'm talking about. Throughout the levels, you find these scrolls, which normally is magic, but if you don't use the magic by the end of the stage, you get special pizzas you can use during that one-on-one duel matchup thing. But it is a hard game. I don't know if you have any continues, or maybe you have limited continues, but I know I never beat this. I got pretty far. I want to say like 7 or 8 levels in, and I still didn't beat it. But it's a good game. Lots of different things you can do. Pogo stick. I think there's like shooting stages. Not a bad game at all in my opinion. I'm really, really glad I found this one, because this one really brings me back. I can't wait to try it again. That's it. Here's our lot of 9 probably maybe bad games. In my opinion, I made out. I got a great deal on these games. It's games that I have been looking for a long time. So I'm extremely, extremely happy with this lot. But let me know what you thought. What are your feelings about these games? Did I just waste $35 on a bunch of crap? Or do you have good memories with these games, especially like something like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? A lot of kids like that game, even though, you know, it didn't follow the story very much. It didn't have the enemies from the cartoon or any of the other ones, because we got a few in here from LJN, I think. Yeah, we do. 3 of them. But I'm okay with that because I think they deserve a second chance. And I don't always listen to other people's opinions. And just a little time that I had with them again, I actually enjoyed, for the most part, a lot of these games, minus Skate or Die. That can go skate off a cliff. Let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know what your history is with these games. I love hearing from you guys. And that's all I got for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is the part of the video where I thank those users who support the channel through YouTube memberships and Patreon. John Westby, Door, Rick67, Travis Morton, Geo, Jason Holbrooks, Mike Muniz, Sam Torres, Yaroslav Oruzov, Andre G, Din Cardoso, James Burkhart, Red Silvers, Craig Livesley, Lynn Mayer, James McEwen, and Batman.